Welcome to video 4, week 1, bonus video on panoramas. There's one behind me there, a baseball stadium. Now, I couldn't get back far enough in that baseball park in order to get the entire frame, even with my wide angle lens. So what I had to do, and what I'm suggesting you start thinking about doing, is I had to take 5 separate photographs, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and somehow ram those photos together to create one giant photo, a panorama. Now, most of us might have a concept of what panoramas are. They're wide photos. They don't have to be wide photos. I want you to get into your mind that panoramas aren't just wide, they can also be vertical. For example, if I'm in New York City shooting the Empire State Building, or if I'm in the woods and I'm shooting tall redwoods or aspen trees, right? A panorama can be 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 images to create a vertical. So think of it in terms of wide panos and vertical panos, horizontals and vertical panos, the panoramas. Okay, there are 2 hints I gotta tell you right off the bat. To get a good pano, your separate images must overlap while you're taking those photos at least 30%. Okay, so if I'm taking photo 1, the next photo has to overlap by 30%, and the next by 30%, and so on. Okay, no matter what direction your panos. The second hint is that if I want to wind up with a horizontal panorama, I rotate my camera to shoot vertically. So I'll take 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 vertical shots to combine them into one wide pano. Same for vertical. If I'm shooting if I want a vertical, I shoot horizontal. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You'll get more pixels if you shoot that way. There are a couple of reasons to shoot panos. I gave you one. One is I get back so far, I just can't capture the whole scene. That's usually what happens to me typically. But I have a great friend, a superstar photographer. You can look him up on the internet. His name is Joel, Joel Grimes, Grimes. And Joel Grimes has become famous for getting lots of really good work shooting billboard art. His images are so big, literally counting pixels. They're so big that they can actually be printed larger than most other photographers' images. Can I give you the trick? He shoots panos. His images have more resolution in them because they're not just the width that his camera can produce. No, it's multiple images combined into one, resulting in much more resolution. Let's just see how it works. Now you can create panos in Photoshop. I wouldn't, I used to, I don't, because that's old technology. Photoshop is slower, it takes longer, it requires more RAM, and you'll often get a scratch disk is full error in Photoshop. It's not the fastest way to do it. You know the fastest way to do it. Well, you will soon. It's in good old you-know-who, Bridge. Let's show you how it works. I'm going to show you what my final pano here in Bridge looks like. This is my ultimately stitched together pano. Now, this is actually 4 images shot tall, right? Short portrait mode. 1, 2, 3, 4. And they were rammed together into one giant image. That's my result. But let me show you how we got there. Now I'm going to hold the Command key on the Mac or the Control key on the PC in order to click Command or Control and add to. Click. Click. I'm selecting all 4 of my original images. Command or Control, click. Now I'm going to hit spacebar so we can get a good look. Spacebar, there's one, the first of my 4 images. And if I hit the right arrow, I can see the second of my 4, and the third of my 4, and the fourth. Okay, now I'm going to go backward and show you again. This is image 4, but look how my bench and the old Scottish style manor hotel are in the 4th image, and they're also overlapping in the 3rd image. And in the 3rd image, remember I'm working backwards, there's some people and a bench. And when I go to the 2nd image, you see my people and the bench are overlapping. And when I go back to the 1st image, you can see the people are there in the water. So it's overlapping by at least 1/3, right? Command, click, 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 click. Grab your pencil, get ready. We're going to ram these photos together. And how do I do it? In Bridge, I put my thumb on the Command or Control key, and I don't lift it. And with my index finger, I'm going to spell RAM, R-A-M. Here we go. Command keys down on the Mac, R-A-M. And you don't believe it, but I'm actually finished. Look, Ma, no hands. It has rammed my photos together with the keyboard shortcut Command RAM or Control RAM on the PC. Why is this so simple? It's incredible, actually. And so I'm obviously trying to get you to remember RAM, Command or Control, RAM. You're done. I'm going to say merge now. It doesn't say done or save. It says merge. And when I do that, take a peek. It automatically takes the original name of one of the files, adds the word pano, and saves this new panoramic as a DNG automatically. Incredible. Now I'm going to cancel and cancel and cancel and just show you again. I've looked at my images in Bridge. I've selected the ones that I'm going to ram together. I do Command RAM. I'm finished. But now let me explain some of these buttons along the side. It's really quite incredible. You're looking at your preview of your image. I'm merging images into my panorama, all 4. And if I go click spherical, you'll see there's a different way, a different preview, a different way of looking at this. Spherical, cylindrical. Not all of these work on every image grouping. Perspective, see what I mean? So you just pick the one that fits your view best. I think cylindrical. I got a little bit more image on that. Now I'm going to go to the bottom. I'll skip over the middle. I'm going to the bottom, and I'm going to show you at the bottom there's something called auto crop. And if I turn off, uncheck auto crop, and by the way, whatever you've done here, it will retain and remember next time by default. So if you leave it unchecked, auto crop will be unchecked next time you come in. If you check it, you get the idea. Auto crop. What does auto crop do? You can see that auto crop, in order to combine these images without distorting the central theme of the images themselves, the outer edges, the boundaries, had to be warped in some way. They had to be distorted in some way. And so when I turn on auto crop, it will look at every possible pixel I could get without losing anything in auto crop. But there's another way, an alternative way. You can either auto crop or you can boundary warp. To be honest, you can auto crop and boundary warp. It's a third flavor. But let me show you what boundary warp does. Boundary warp says the internal theme is not distorted, but let's distort the boundary. Oh my. goodness, resulting in a much greater image size. It's distorting the boundary to create a fix for my images. So it's either auto crop or boundary warp or both until you're happy. Oh, that looks good to me. Incredible. A miracle, really. Now, I'm going to go ahead and just boundary warp for giggles and merge. Let's save it as Pano BPSOP Rick. And I want you to notice at the bottom of my image, it shows me this new DNG's dimensions. Check out its width. Its width, 9,119 pixels. Now, wait a minute. You may not have noticed that the original images were only 7360 each. 7360, 7360, 7360. But allowing for the overlap that I obviously had, I now have a larger resolution image than any of my original files. They've been combined, and now I have a much larger resolution image. I can therefore print it at higher res. This blows my mind. It's fast. It's easy. It takes a lot less memory, IQ, another word for RAM, than Photoshop does. And it saves me a non-destructive DNG raw file. What could be better? So you want to start thinking when you're out in the field, not just shooting like you do with your camera, but when you get finished, might this be better as a pano? Shoot some images. Or as multiple panos. Now, I'm going to give you one more little tip. The panos don't have to be in a straight line. You can actually shoot 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. You can shoot multiple images, and this trick still works. What will they think of next?